Micah Frankel for CageMinds.com. We're here at Fit NHB with the Wild Bunch. We've got Charlie Williams with us. He's getting ready for King of the Cage Future Legends 18. It's coming up October 5th. We're at the Crowne Plaza. It's University of Manal here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Charlie's taking on Charlie Vargas. So first names right there, we got the Battle of the Charlies. Charlie, thank you for the time. Getting ready. Over 2 weeks away, how you feeling?
I feel good. My weight's on point. I'm at 148 pounds right now, and I got dropped down to 135 for this fight. So it's my lowest weight cut so far, but I feel great.
So what have you been doing in your diet differently to make this your easiest or littlest weight cut so far?
I cut out salts, and I've been eating leans, more vegetables, and staying away from the complex carbs, and just trying to eat light and lean. That's what's getting my weight down.
What's been the hardest thing to stay away from?
Pizza. I love pizza and hamburgers, but pizza's my kryptonite.
I agree with you that myself. That's why I commend you guys on what you're doing. Like, there's so much great food out there, and you guys kind of cut some of it out. It's commendable.
Yeah, and my wife, she's always the one that wants to eat out everywhere, so I got to put her on the diet too.
So you got this fight coming up, a 5-2 amateur record so far. It's going to be your 8th fight. With that, what do you feel coming into this fight? What do you want to prove coming into this one?
What I want to prove is I want to prove to my coaches that I'm ready for the next step. I've been fighting, this is my 8th fight, and I don't want to take this guy lightly, but I want to make a statement to my coaches that, I'm ready for the next step.
So you told me you've been here at Fit NHB for about 2 years. All encompassing, how long have you been training MMA for though?
I've been training MMA for a little bit over 4 years. My first year was off and on. It was just like, I was a heavy smoker back then, and I was in the gym for a month. I get gassed out, and then, take 3 months off, and then come back, But my last 2.5 years was I quit my day job so I could train, so that's what it is now.
What was it that made you go into the gym? What were you looking for? Activity? Was it to help you quit smoking? What was going on?
I saw an old wrestling teammate of mine. He was fighting in the WEC. This was in 2009. I saw him, and I was like, man, if this guy could fight, I know I could fight. And so I started taking classes, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it was. Right now, it's pretty good.
You mentioned the wrestling, so how long were you wrestling for?
I did high school wrestling for 2 years, and I left with a winning record. I placed 4th in state twice, and that's as far as I got in wrestling. I wish I would have started off a little bit younger, but
So then with that, you talked about this is going to be your 8th amateur fight. When was the first one?
My first one was at the end of 2009, and I was training for a few months, and my coach at the time, he thought I was ready for the MMA fight, so we went out to Las Cruces, and I lost in the beginning of the second round, and from there I knew I had a lot to work on.
So from then to now, how is the mentality, the mindset, the preparation, and the comfortability with getting in a fight? How has that all came along for you?
It's coming along good. I train with a lot of top guys here at Fit, and they get me ready for what's coming up in the cage next. I feel like if I can hang with these guys here, that I can hang with anybody else in the cage. We got the elite fighters here.
On the topic of your opponent, now we'll bring up the other Charlie. Do you know much about him coming into this fight?
My teammate Tim Sosa fought him a few years ago, and I guess that fight ended early in the first round with the armbar. But that says I don't know anything else about him, just that.
And then we'll get to know you some more. What's the kind of fighter you are? We know people all the time like to break people down. More a striker, more a grappler, more a clinch fighter. How would you describe yourself if you had to kind of put yourself in that box?
I like to strike, but I've been working on my striking. But it just depends on where the fight is at the time, you know. Sometimes my fights, it feels like I'm standing up with people and I throw a lot of leg kicks. Some fights I don't throw any leg kicks and I go for takedowns, you know. But most of my fights were standing up and, you know, they make the error, take me to the ground. And that's where most of my fights ended, were on the ground.
So if you had to throw a prediction out there for us, how does your fight end on October 5th?
I hope it's a long fight. I want it to be a battle for sure, and I just want to bang, you know. But if it goes to the ground and I can tap him early, I will do it.
Charlie Williams, Fit NHB, is going to be fighting October 5th, like we said, Future Legends 18. We thank you for the time and give you one more minute to shout out to everyone that's helped you.
I want to thank my coaches, Tom and Arlene, and then my teammates for sure, man. Can't do this without my teammates. And last, my wife, she supports me every way. You know, thank you guys.
October 5th, we'll see you all at the Crowne Plaza.